What up, YouTube? I'm back with another video, and today's project, I'm gonna drop down the tank and I'm gonna insulate it with some kill mat. There's a lot of noise coming from this. That pinging is what's rattling when it's, the system is bumping in your trunk. So we're gonna pull down the tank. It's brand new, so all I do need to do is just take off my 2 screws. 1, 2, and the ones underneath the manifold right there. It's hard to tell, but my hand's leading to it. Anyways, so I just need to disconnect my 2 fuel lines on my gas tank. That's how I did it. And disconnect these 2. This one and this one. And screw them. That's my out and my return. And then in the front, it's gonna have the swings, little bolts here. Disconnect both of these, undo them, and then I'm gonna put my jack in the middle right here. I'm gonna put my jack with a piece of plywood first. Just hold it in place, and then I'm just gonna start wiping the trunk down. It's a little dusty. Everything's painted. The whole car, the whole bottom of this car is painted. It's just black. And clean it all up. Put some kill mat on the bottom of this trunk, and then the top of the gas tank, and I'm gonna put some kind of foam in between it. So let me get on it. Okay, I'm taking down the gas tank. Taking off this new strap. Move this sucker out the way. For the gas tank, well, of course, you just got to keep a lookout on the neck. And I forgot to disconnect my ground. Let me do that. Okay, I disconnected the ground and the actual lead to the gauge. And then this is my positive fuel pump. Got the terminal here. Just drop down the gas tank. Keep an eye on your neck. Oh, wait, you know what? I'm gonna have to remove my... I'm using it to catch the gasoline that came from the lights, but I think it's all done. Okay. And as it drops down, you just gotta keep an eye on it, because the neck likes to get stuck. I'm dropping it down slow. It doesn't have that much gas in it. All right. Yeah, everything's still clean down here, so all I have to do is wipe everything down and put some mat on it. Open that tank, bring it out. Oh, the neck was in the way. Pushed it down and got it out. Okay. All right. There it is. So now I'm gonna put all the kill mat all on the back of this, even in the middle right here, where it actually, the car makes contact right here with this part. As you can see, the scratches on the metal. Everywhere that it has scratches, see, has a scratch right there, so it makes contact with the trunk. So I know not everyone's tank's gonna look like mine, all nice and clean, because mine's brand new, but it gives you an idea where you see the scratches. That's where it's contacting. So I'm gonna see how loud that is. We'll check it out when I come back with it all covered up. All right, I'm underneath the car. Everything looks pretty good down here. Everything's clean. The bottom of the trunk, the floor. I think I'm just gonna leave the bottom of the floor alone this side, because I was gonna put kill mat on it, but I don't hear no rattling or nothing. It sounds nice and deep. The only thing I hear is the license plate. But I think once I do the gas tank, the whole top of it where these meet up with it, because the gas tank sits inside of here, keeping this away I think will help it because I think that's what's rattling, because you could see where the paint got chipped. See, the paint's all chipped up, where it's actually making contact with all that. So I think that's where my rattle's coming from. So I'm gonna get to it and I'll cut y'all back on. Okay, everybody, the gas tank is done. I kill mapped the whole thing, and I gotta say, it made a difference, man. It sounds more, it doesn't sound all pingy anymore. And I went ahead and did everything because I don't hear the fuel pump that much, but I know that they're loud, the electric fuel pumps. And it's probably because of the echo that the gas tank makes, because it's really loud. Once I covered it all up and you're rolling it with the roller, in the beginning you could hear the echo travel through the whole gas tank, and once it was done, you don't hear it no more. So the gas tank is completely done, all the way around, all the way to the crease as best as possible back here, around the fuel pump right here. And then I made this foam block that's gonna go right here like that, because that's where the gas tank touches the actual trunk. The foam I used is this, and it's pretty good. I mean, you know, it doesn't compress and then just fade away. Hopefully it lasts a little bit of time. It's not gonna be in the middle of no heat, so we should be good. So I'll cut y'all back on when I get more done. But let's just take a little sample. That's how the trunk sounds. I'll see what it sounds once I put the gas tank back in. Okay. I also went ahead and put some kill mat on the actual rails where the gas tank makes contact. So I'm gonna put the gas tank back on. Okay, I put it back on. It's all plumbed up. You can see where the actual foam is actually compressed in the middle of that floor in the gas tank, because they were touching, because you know that's where the middle of the floor is, so it caved in and it actually was touching metal to metal there. It's way better. I could still hear a little rattling in the gas tank, but I think that's the baffle. And since the gas tank hardly has any gas, it's letting it echo more than it should. But there it is. And then we could go up on top. Could go up on top. Hit it. It's solid now. Right here where there's the foams at, it sounds really solid there. Over here it still sounds a little less, but it's not as solid as it is in the center now. But I'm happy with it. I'm gonna continue the project. Next is cutting out the holes for the 6x9s. I was laying out different designs, and I'm gonna go with that one. Them angled like that, and then same thing for this side, angled like that. Catch y'all back on when I get more done. Okay, YouTube, I cut all the holes for the 6x9s. They came out straight, even, and it wasn't that hard to do it. As you can see, it has lines drawn on it. Okay, first I started off with this line. I think it's like 4 inches from there to there. And then I was using the grills of the 6x9s to mock this up. So at first I did this line right, and I put the 6x9s at an angle that I wanted, just by eyeballing it. I would get behind the car over here and I just eyeballed where I wanted them. I put them, and then I copied that onto the other side. And what I did on what I did is once I had these holes cut out, I put the speakers in there and the grills on them, and then I drew this line from, you know, I just put it on top of the actual speakers on the grills, and I drew the line. And then to copy this same line on that side, I just measured from here to here, and I put a line on the other side, and then I measured from here to there, and I put it on that side, and that gave me that line. And then I was just able to, you know, figure out where the 6x9s needed to go on the opposite side. They lined up pretty good, and I'm very happy with it. Now I just need to cut out the rest of the steel, because at first I wasn't planning on putting all the 6x9s in the back, but then after thinking about it, I'm like, well, where the hell else am I gonna mount them? Because in the front I'm gonna go mid-range with tweeters, so put them all in the back. All right, I'll cut y'all back on when I get more accomplished. Okay guys, the 4 6x9s are mounted. As you can see, I got the speakers in there with the covers on. I did that so like that I could make sure that the holes are cut out just right for these speakers. I cut them with my rotor zip so they don't have no wiggle. I mean, they're perfectly mounted in there. It's good, it's all good. Nothing's moving around in there. Okay, so that's what it's gonna look like. There are the speakers. They're all the Rockford Fosgate series, the Power series. And let me see what part number these are. I got the box right here. These are the T1639 6x9s. And I heard them in my friend's car and I really liked it. They sounded really good for just having 6x9s on all his 4 doors on his F-150. And they put out little bass, even if everybody says they're not subwoofers, but they still have bass to them. Just in case I ever don't want that strong bass, I could just, since I'm gonna be running a passive EQ, I could just hit that subwoofer button on there and take them down and just listen to 6x9s if I want to. So on the front, we're gonna have mid-range 8-inch speakers with the super tweeter from Rockford Fosgate. I just don't know where I'm gonna mount them yet. I was thinking of doing some kind of center console, but I'm not sure. And then in the center of the dashboard on this car, there's a 6x9 space, and on each side I have it built for 4x6s. 4x6s, I want to say. Yes. So that's what I'm going to be running, all Rockford. So, but this is where I'm at, everybody. Let's take a look through the trunk. Let's get my other light. I got them sitting on those piece of papers. I don't want it to somehow mess up my paint, but that's what they look like from underneath. Okay, I was thinking like cut all this out right here, like square on each side, and making a box for these 6x9s, but I don't think I'm gonna need it, so I'm gonna leave it alone. I was gonna make a box on each side, like a box for those two over there, you know, a box over there and then a box over here, like from side to side. But I was like, I don't think I need it, and I really don't want to cut up all the reinforcement on this rear deck. Now I don't know if it's really supporting anything, but I just don't want to do it because I'm gonna be running screws through here to hold the actual MDF that's on the 6x9s, so I could have that. I'm gonna glue it and screw it but it should be good. So as soon as I get more done, I'll cut y'all back on. So here we are, YouTube, on this part of the build.